With all of these changes that are coming into effect either with the terms and conditions or COPPA or FTC, people are quite rightfully confused. So I reached out to you via my community tab and I asked if you had any questions. I'm here to answer those questions and hopefully explain a few things that, as I understand them, about the COPPA law and how it might affect you. What happens to the animation channels geared to all ages, or the channels that are run by kids asking for a friend? Animation channels that are geared to all ages, as long as they are clearly geared towards all ages, should be fine. You flag them towards either made for kids, because then that way it covers all bases. Have a look at your analytics, have a look at your dashboard. If you know that 80% of your audience is more kids, then it's safer to err on the side of caution and flag yourself as made for kids. But if you're a general animation channel that's made for anyone to watch, but you're not specifically aiming for kids, then you can say not made for kids, and then you'd have to be willing to justify that if people were to communicate with you. When it comes to channels that are run by kids, if you are over the age of 13, then you are fine. You've got to be careful. Are you the 13-year-old? Are you on camera? Then it's made for kids. You are the focus, you are the audience, you are the demographic, then you are made for kids. If you are under the age of 13, you are not supposed to be creating content on YouTube. You're not supposed to be creating anything to be uploaded on the internet most of the time. 13 is a demographic that doesn't have a digital right to be online or create content, unless you've got a parent behind you. Not in a creepy way, I mean agreeing that they will run your channel and help you. How should channels that have toys but are geared for adults proceed? If it's me, and I'm sat there with my Ninja Turtle and I'm really happy about that Ninja Turtle and I'm picking apart how rare this one is and how it's 1 in 1,000 and how me as a collector, as an adult, how happy I am to get that Ninja Turtle, that's fine. However, if I'm playing with that Ninja Turtle to entice a kid, to give a story or to involve narrative that could bring children into a fantasy world that's clearly me giving them voices or telling them stories or nursery rhymes or songs, that's content made for kids and you should flag it as made for kids. Could COPPA ban us if we tell them that our video is made for kids 3 times? No, in fact, it's not the amount of times you tell them. In fact, you can create content for kids. They're not saying don't make content for kids. That's not what they're saying. What they're saying is if it is made for kids, it will be placed in a completely different bucket for advertisers. So currently the way it works is advertisers can select any safe monetizable content and place adverts on them. So if little Billy, who's 6 years old, watches a video of a Ninja Turtle, which is a completely safe made for kids video, at the moment we can then see where Billy then clicks off to another thing or clicks off to another thing, or anybody else that's on that phone then goes off to Argos and Amazon and goes and buys a welly boot. Little Billy goes back to the phone and he'll have welly boots advertised to him because it's tracking where that phone or that person or that session watch time has been. COPPA doesn't want Billy tracked at all. So what COPPA does is it puts all of children content, stuff that is clearly focused on building an audience just for children, it puts it in a little bubble over here. And anyone that watches this bubble can watch it as much as they want. It could be Peppa Pig repeats. It could be live streams of Peppa Pig. We've all seen them. That's fine. The kids can watch it as much as they want. But when they go off, they're not tracked. So any adverts that are shown to those kids are generic. They're not aimed at them. They don't know if they've watched Peppa Pig, then Game of Thrones, and then back to Peppa Pig, and then to, I don't know, some form of chocolate, right? That way, advertisers can't specifically advertise at that kid as directly, and therefore that person doesn't make as much money because those adverts aren't likely to be clicked as often and aren't as dedicated to that audience. It's not YouTube or COPPA saying stop making content for kids. Make as much content as you wish. If you're a kid, make as much content as you want, as long as you're over the age of 13 and have consent. It's not a problem. You can make kids content. The argument is if you deliberately make kids content and claim it's not for kids, even though you're trying to entice them in to sell them something, that's when it's wrong. Not the creating thing, not the uploading thing, not being a kid yourself. You're allowed to make kids content. Just let YouTube know that it's for kids, and then they can serve the right type of adverts against it, not target it. When does YouTube decide whether a channel is commercially viable? Now, this is a misunderstanding. Commercially viable doesn't mean that if you don't make them money, they will close your account. Commercially viable is that grey area where currently they don't have any rules in place. So say, for example, you're making really good content, but it's creepy, or it's deliberately aimed at a sexual perversion that isn't accepted. At the moment, the content may be completely bland. Like the other year, people were uploading videos of their daughter at gymnastics, where she was learning a pose or doing the splits or whatever. And there was creepy little perverts in the comment section going, look at that leotard, and that's the bit where she splits a bit. And they were chatting and being weird and creepy. If you deliberately made weird, creepy content, deliberately uploaded stuff, deliberately stopped and pandered or upskirted and stuff like that, technically that content to upload isn't illegal. But if you're uploading it for nefarious means, that's the grey area that makes it not commercially viable. That's the point where you are getting a gun and teaching people how to strip it apart and recommission a decommissioned weapon to make it dangerous, or teaching people how to make their own auto stop at the back so it turns it from semi-automatic to automatic illegally. Those are the non-commercially viable areas, the things that they don't want on their website, but they can't currently put a box around it to give you a slap wrist or give you a strike or ping you off straight away. That non-commercially viable is a caveat that they've put in there to cover their own back, to get rid of you should you be a bit too murky in that weird water. How do you blanket set all of your videos on mobile to are or are not for kids? You can't. You're gonna have to blanket set all of them on PC or go through manually, individually, one at a time on your mobile. I play an Android game called Boom Beach and I upload all of my Boom Beach content onto my channel. Do you think uploading Boom Beach content is made for kids or not? Once again, this depends on, are you deliberately pandering towards the kid? Are you a young demographic? Are you a kid yourself? Are you showing your friends? Are you inviting your friends? Or in my case, am I ripping apart that game as a game developer, telling you, well, that graphic's gone wrong and this menu's not right and this doesn't load? It depends on how you approach the content. If you're playing the game and you're playing with kids or you're playing with friends and you are a kid, it's possibly made for kids. If you're ripping it apart as a tech engineer, that's made for adults. What do you classify as taste testing videos? I think those can be adults. I think they can be children. Once again, it depends on who's the actual person doing it. If I'm doing a taste test thing, then it's possibly that it's a 35-year-old man eating American candy for the first time, and it might appeal to me, my demographic, and other people that find me funny. But if there's kids in there eating the sweets, then it's clearly for kids, made with kids, aimed at kids, and that falls under the made for kids. The general consensus seems to be is that you are scared that you are somewhere within that grey area. If you're not sure, ask yourself, am I a kid? Is this aimed at kids? What is the current demographic of my channel? Is it mainly children? Can I pivot towards a more adult-based niche? Or do I need to just admit that yes, it's made for kids and accept that that might affect my income? But remember, you can still make made for kids content. It's not illegal to make it. They're not going to kick you off the channel. You're not going to get copyright striked or community striked for it, as long as you mark it as made for kids. The only difference is that you'll lose some features, in which the features I have listed somewhere in a video up here, and those features may affect how you grow and may affect your income. If you want any more information on the whole COPPA situation, there's a playlist here. Go out there, start creating.